FlossTube friends, how are you? This is Robin. Welcome to my channel, Lady Robins. If you are here for the first time, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. And if you're a returning friend and subscriber, welcome back. I'm just as happy to see you. It is the 17th of October, and you might have noticed, but I missed a day. I'm 4 weeks from my last FlossTube, and I try to film them every other week. Life just got busy. It just slided away, and so thank you for letting me be a little flexible on this schedule. I really want to do weeks every other week, but didn't happen this time. So apologies. Thank you for your gracious patience with me. All right. If you're new here, this is a FlossTube channel. This is where I talk about my favorite hobby, which is cross stitch. And I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. I have two fully finished objects, two fully finished pieces, and I have some things sitting on the ironing board behind me that I'm really happy to show off, and some things in progress. So yeah, we'll talk about whips. I have had a couple new starts. I don't know where that came from, but I've had some new starts. So yeah, grab your beverage. I've got to tell you, I forgot my beverage. I usually have one, but that's just the way it is. I'll just motor ahead without a beverage. However, you go get yours, grab your stitching. We're just going to talk all things cross stitch. Okay, so I like to start and show you fully finishes when I have them. So in that vein, I finally fully finished Ye Old Crow, and I put it on a little, oh gosh, I can't remember what they call these things. Horn book, that's what they call them. So here it is, it's on a horn book. If you have been here before, I showed you this horn book and it was red. And I was thinking about painting it green or possibly black. And my husband, he likes a project, and so he you can see that there. He did a light overspray of black with just, touches of the red peeking through. I think it's brilliant. I think he did a really great job. He hung it up in the garage on, what is it, a wire coat hanger, and just, spritzed and sprayed and got this lovely finish for me. So yeah, Ye Old Crow by Hands-On Design. I've got the pattern. Let me check. I don't want to tell you wrong. Not Hands-On Design. Heart and Hand. This one. And I would like to pass the stash. I think this is such a cool pattern, and I'm not going to stitch it a second time, so I'd like to give it to one of you. I will send it anywhere. And so if you would like this, just say crow. Just put crow in the comments, and I'll do the random comment picker app, and next FlossTube I'll announce who is our winner and ask you to send me your shipping information. So again, if you would like this cute little pattern so you can make this guy, put crow in your comments, okay? So I want to do a pass the stash. All right, so that's my first FFO, fully finished object, in case I've got anyone here that's not familiar with those acronyms. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is almost exactly the same. This came from Bent Creek. This pattern was their pre-stitch for those that signed up for the Bent Creek Friendstitch, which was in September. Yeah, in September. It might have been just the week after Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. So anyway, they sent you the chart early, you stitched it up, and then during Friendstitch, they had a video showing you exactly how to finish it. So, the tag, the horn book came with it. The rickrack came with it. And what's interesting is they had actually wanted you to weave the rickrack together. So actually this rickrack here that was supposed to be with this one, but I just split it up. I just split my supplies up. So it was great. And these, I just did stitchery tape for both of them. The tutorial showed you how to finish it using stitchery tape. It came in the Friendstitch box. It was really super skinny. I've bought stitchery tape in the past, and I think mine is 2 inches long. I'm gonna have to see. I mean, this was like 1/4 inch stitchery tape. It was super easy to work with. So that's how I got both of these FFO'd. Yeah, since last we got together. So these are actually out in the entryway of my home. So we've got kind of fall-like things up there. So that's my 2 FFOs for the video. But then I decided to, you know, pull my under the bed box out from underneath my bed, as the name suggests. And I'm like, what is in here? I have got to get this stuff framed or finished in some way and up on my wall. So in that vein, what I have done is I've laced 2 pieces. So I'm going to show you. You grab them. And I don't know if you remember me stitching these, but this is Coverlet Houses by the Scarlet House. And I had bought this years and years ago. I bought a kit. It came with the fabric. This is silk. This was my first time stitching something on silk. And so I just laced it on some acid-free mat board. You can see I did not cut my fabric down because I didn't need as much thread to lace it if I left all that fabric back there. And let's face it, I'm probably not gonna be able to use that fabric for another piece easily. You know, you can hunt and peck, I can maybe do a bookmark or whatever, but this just really helped me out, just leaving all that fabric. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the edge, but I do run a basting stitch so that I can try my best to get it as straight as possible on the mat board. So that's the first thing that I worked on. I've got the frame picked out. I'll show you that in a second. It's one of our Goodwill finds, so it's going to cost me, you know, less than $4 to frame it. And then the other thing that I found in my under the bed box, this is the Satsuma Street Noel sampler. This was a sale a couple of years ago, and you know me, I didn't keep up on the sale, but I did finish the piece. And so then same thing, I laced it on some acid-free mat board. And now this one, you can see what I'm talking about. I had cut the fabric, so I gave myself like a 3-inch border all the way around. Well, that was a lot of thread that I ended up having to use because, you know, that's a pretty big travel for those threads. So this took me a couple of hours to lace. It took me a while. And then of course, again, you can see, I don't know if you can see them, but there's my basting stitches. So I've also got a frame picked out from our Goodwill finds. So I think that frame, the sticker, I think said it's $7.99 maybe. But then of course, every time you walk in there, something's on sale. So I don't know if I paid full price or not. So there's that. And then the other thing that I did, now I haven't done anything except I washed it. You guys, I washed cross stitch. So I'm gonna stand back here, but I washed and ironed my Quaker turtle. Can you see this? Can you see the gloriousness that is the Quaker turtle? Yeah, so that is next on my list of things to lace. And I've got the frame picked out for this one as well. And that frame is super cool because it came from my parents' house. So when we were you know, getting rid of all the possessions from their house, I grabbed as many framed pieces as I could, things that I didn't necessarily want to keep what was inside the frame, but I wanted to reuse the frame for cross stitch. So let me just show you. So the interesting thing about this frame, now this was in my dad's office, and there's glare and it doesn't even matter what's in here, but these were certificates that he got at work. But Quaker Turtle is exactly this this width. Now this piece, you know, it's got 3 certificates that from my dad's time working for the Big B Boeing. It's much longer than I need for Quaker Turtle, so we're just gonna cut it off. But the cool thing is, my cousin ran a U-Frame It shop forever, and so I know this is all acid-free materials, so I'm actually gonna be able to take the mat board, put Quaker Turtle on that mat board, and easily slide it into here, and I am gonna keep the glass because it's on white fabric. You know, if it was a colored fabric, I wouldn't worry about the glass. Since it's white, I definitely want it under glass. So even though it's not going to be museum glass, it'll just keep it a little protected from, you know, everyday dust and dirt and stuff. So I'm super excited to reuse this frame that was in my dad's office for Quaker Turtle. So there's that frame. And then let me just show you the others. So the one that I'm going to put, where'd she go? Oh yeah, that I'm going to put the coverlet houses in is this guy, which I think is going to look spectacular. And this has the glass, and I might save the glass on this one. I'm kind of changing my mind about glass, you guys, because I was in my family room and I was dusting, and I've got a number of cross stitches in there, and I just noticed there's a couple Bent Creek that have buttons, and there was dust sitting on top of those buttons, and so I'm like, maybe I need to rethink the whole glass thing. But anyway, here, look how pretty that's gonna look with this one. So there's that. And then the craziest one of all is the frame for the Noel sampler. Now we got this big thing again at Goodwill, and this one, the price tag has come off, and you know, this interior piece, you know, we're gonna throw it out, but catch this, you guys. I'm not gonna do it justice, but Noel sampler, can't do it, fits exactly inside that. And while in my head, can you see that? We're gonna have to do no work on this one. In my head, I had envisioned framing Noel sampler in a red frame, but this is pretty spectacular, don't you think? Yeah, so we're just gonna use this. We talked about maybe taking this interior piece out and you know, doing like a red mat, but you know how hard it is to match reds. Is it a you know, orange red, or is it a blood red, or you know, blah blah blah. So we thought, you know what, it fits, it looks nice, so we're just gonna go with that, and we can change our mind later, of course. I mean, it's not like I'm spending, you know, $250 to get it framed. So that's the plan for Noel sampler. So that is, I am so excited about the framing that's going to be coming up here for those pieces shortly. So yeah, that's you know, like I said, I just got a wild hair and decided it's time. What's really funny is now our box of frames in the garage is like, oh, there's not many choices, we're gonna have to go thrifting. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all, right? So there's a look at things that are coming up. Okay, so besides that, all that stuff, what have I been stitching on? Well, I've been stitching on some fun seasonal pieces. Let me show you what I've been up to. So, in my lovely bag that I got from Becky's House of Sewing, I have been stitching the Be Thankful Turkey. And this came out of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and this is the fall 2023 issue. I'm stitching this guy. So I got hanging thread. Of course I do. I just show you where I'm at. So I'm stitching this on a 36 count natural colored linen by Zweigart. There's no modeling, but there's my turkey. And before you tell me, I stitched this feather and I grabbed the wrong floss color. It's wrong. So I have some unstitching to do, because you've got, this one, he's got his hat, and then the tail feathers, they mirror each other on either side of the turkey. So I'm going to have to fix that. But this is as long as it's going to be. And then there's that cute, cute little maple leaf border down there. So I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, the tail feathers, they go back and forth and mirror each other. So I don't know. Sometimes you just shouldn't stitch at 9 p.m. But that's okay. I'll get it fixed. It'll be fine. So I've been stitching on that. I've probably, gosh, I don't know. I've probably spent 3, maybe even 4 days stitching on it. Although, as you can see, I've been stitching at times when I shouldn't be, because I'm making mistakes. But the other thing, though, that I started since last I saw you, I gave myself a little start on Candy Cane Pumpkin. Can you see that? Isn't that sweet? This is by Stitches by Ethel, and this is my first time stitching one of, I'm assuming it's a her. Ethel seems like a female name, but don't make assumptions. I'm stitching one of their charts for the first time, and it's going great. And here I am. So I've just about got the crow finished, and then I'll get to start working on the pumpkin and the cute little mouse that's holding up the candy. Do you see that? So yeah, I kind of want to switch from working on the turkey. I kind of got inspired, even though, this does kind of scream Halloween to me. I think you can keep it up in November, because there's something that says pumpkins are October only. They can get in, got pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, and I think you can get candy corn for Halloween and Thanksgiving. I don't know, but that's what I'm telling myself, is this can be up for both fall, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. So anyway, Stitches by Ethel. If you've never seen these, there's a couple other ones. I've bought 3 of her patterns, and then there's one that's called Evergreen and Peppermints. And so the little mouse is holding little peppermint candies. It's adorable, adorable. So highly recommend Stitches by Ethel. I really like her patterns, and they're just on the back. It's just one sheet, super easy. And this is not a whopper, you guys. This is 81 wide by 55 high. So I should be able to knock this out. And then I thought I was doing it on a 32 count, and then I looked at my my tag for the fabric in my project bag, and it's like, oh, I'm stitching on a 28 count, but it looks great, don't you think? Isn't that cute? I think it's adorable. So I've been stitching on that, and then I'll have to look at my book of days. What else have I been stitching on? It feels like, yes. I've been stitching on my Tiny Town, which I think is behind me. Yeah. My Tiny Town. That's the other thing that I have stitched on. So where's my pattern? Maybe it's in the middle. Well, that's a good question. Where is my pattern, you guys? It's probably out in the living room. But let me just show you where I've gotten to on my Seaside tiny town. So I've got the first little motif done. The cross stitch is done on the crab. He's got some back stitch legs, and then I'm working on my first building. So there's Seaside tiny town. And this I'm doing on a 32 count Witchelt fabric. I think the color is natural, and it's going okay. I'm not a huge fan of Witchelt. This is really stiff, but I made the choice because of the fact that it's so stiff. It's going to look great on my Pete's Bee Skip spool, excuse me, that I showed you a couple videos back. So I've worked on that, and then honestly, you guys, I think I've only been kind of, you know, working on those 3. So, you know, there's your whips. Let me look at my book of days one more time just to make sure. Oh, I did do a little bit on Huckleberry Farm. Let me grab that. That's right behind me. Okay, so Huckleberry Farm, I'm getting close. You guys. I am definitely over the halfway point on Huckleberry Farm. So that feels really good. And so let me hold it. Here's where I'm at. And since last we got together, I got that alphabet in, and the bear kind of snoozing there on the border for the alphabet. Oh, and the other thing, I did finish not that side. I finished the Huckleberry border all the way down. So I actually have done quite a bit since last I saw you on Huckleberry Farm. So yep, finished off that alphabet, put in the snoozing bear, and finished the borders. So at this point, I kind of just have the last little bottom band left to go. So I've just got, you know, I've got this section right here left to go, and then there are a few little you know, back stitches that I'll need to put in, and then it'll be done. So I'm super excited to be so far on Huckleberry Farm, but I need to get my, you know, stitching fingers going, because I do want that finished by the end of the year. That's my goal. And then next year, I want to concentrate, because this year I concentrated on 2 larger pieces, and I finished Cardinal Points, and I will finish Huckleberry Farm. And so next year, the things that I want to move forward with the idea of finishing them is the Hyperborea, which I've only got 1/3 of it done. I still have 2/3 to go, and Harbor Haven. Those 2 are even bigger than Cardinal Points and Huckleberry Farm. So I have lofty goals for myself, but gotta have a goal, right? Gotta have a goal. So I think that really is all of my whips. I did give myself, like I said, a new start on that candy corn and pumpkins, and I started a mill hill. I haven't started a mill hill in like forever. So I went up to Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Washington with my girlfriend Lynn, and I bought 2 Gnome Mill Hill kits. They are so cute. And I got home and I had to start one immediately. So the one that I started is this guy, Gnome with Bells. Isn't he cute? And then the one thing I will gripe just ever so slightly about Mill Hill kits is it drives me nuts when I look at the floss list and it says medium green, light green, dark green, very dark green. Like, oh my gosh, how? And then you've got beige and light beige and gray beige, and it's like, oh, for heaven's sakes, you guys. I find that the most frustrating part, because then it takes me forever, because I sit around with my my floss card, because at least, thank you, Mill Hill, they put the DMC number in you know, in a column, so that I take the floss, I can't decide if this is light beige or gray beige, and then I plop it on top of my DMC floss card so I can verify which one it is, because I have the hardest time. I feel like I don't see colors the way other people do. My husband seems to have more colors in his world than I have in mine. When we paint something, he always picks the color. I'll go down the hardware store and I'll get the little pots of paint, and I'll smear it on the wall, and I'll be like, that looks good, right? And he goes, and then he goes down and he gets the second pot and he smears it on the wall, and we're like, oh yeah, that's right. Happens every time. I have actually stopped picking colors for the walls without him, because I don't get very far. So anyway, all that nonsense aside, I am using one of those yummy magnetic frames from, who is it? Wonderland Crafts on Etsy. If you just search magnetic frame, you'll find it. And it's I'm actually, this is the front side size, and they come in all different sizes, but I went for the biggest one because I have read online and listened to other FlossTubers that said even if your piece of perforated paper doesn't completely fill it, it will still hold it tight enough for you to stitch. But I was listening to, again, I don't know who it was, but they were saying, well, I stitch it with the bottom side up because the magnets are here and it works as a needle holder. And I was like, that's brilliant, I'm doing that. So here's my start on Gnome with Bells. This is probably 30 minutes before I went to bed one night, and this is on my list of things I want to stitch on tonight in front of the TV. You know, plus candy corn and pumpkins, because that's adorable. So I do have a couple of other things that I have kitted up. When I went to Threadneedle Street, that was kind of the goal, was to get some flosses that I was missing to kit up some projects. So one of the things, also, apparently I'm on a Stitches by Ethel kick. There's this adorable October 31st pin keep. And this is, what's the size on this one? This is 55 by 55. And so I think I needed one DMC for this, so I've got all the colors to start this now. Yay, I love it. So cute. The other thing that I did was I got all the flosses. I was missing a couple again to kit the Halloween Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And so I'm just going to do, the called for floss. I'm going to do it on Vintage Country Mocha like they suggest on a 32 count. I got all that. the other thing I picked up, because I'm doing Seaside Tiny Town, I had never picked up the Seaside Frill by Heart and Hand. So that was the chart I picked up. I did pick up the Just Cross Stitch Christmas issue. And if you're not watching Zook Stitch, you should, because she's fabulous. Carolyn's fabulous. And she just did a flip through on that magazine. Yeah, there's like, you know, 5 things I want to stitch out of that. And the last thing that I kitted up is a Brenda Gervais. And I kitted up Autumn Splendor. Isn't that great? And I was missing, again, 3 flosses to start this guy. So this is all kitted up and in a project bag. So I've got, you know, 1, 2, 3 things I want to start. They're all they're all autumn or Halloween themed. And today is what, the 16th, the 17th of October? You know, no time like the present, right? I get inspired to stitch when I'm in that season, but since there's not a lot of Thanksgiving things that I have on my list that I want to stitch, I'm thinking these starts can flow into November without a problem. The other thing that I bought, because I bought Gnome with Bells, I couldn't leave behind Milk and Cookie Gnome. Isn't that cute? That's just adorable. So I've got 2 Mill Hills on my radar to start. In case you care, these were the missing flosses. Look at all those autumnal colors. Aren't they great? I just love them. So these were all the bits I was missing. Oh, look at this one. Persimmon. I love persimmon. That one's great. In fact, this is the color I used to stitch the pumpkin on my Ye Old Crow that I just fully finished. So anyway, that's one of my favorite colors for an orange. In terms of plans, yeah, I don't have too many plans beyond just start all the, you know, Halloween and October things. I do want to, let's see, I've got my, where is it? No, it's not here. Oh, here it is. My Whip Go. So for October, I'm supposed to stitch on a Brenda Gervais. I had put that down, and that's why I wanted to start Autumn Splendor. I thought I had a Brenda Gervais going, and I don't. How does that happen? So I've got to start that so I can, you know, finish that Whip Go goal. The other thing for October is stitch on a whip. I didn't say which one, so I've already accomplished that. And then September Whip Goes I hadn't knocked out yet, and I finally have those done. Well, one I got done by going to Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which was go to a stitchy meetup, and the other one was video call with a stitchy friend. And somehow October came and went, but on Tuesday, Lynn and I video chatted with our friend Sumi. Hi, Sumi. And so now September Whip Go is covered. So that's great. And then for October Magazine Monthly Challenge, what I've got down is 300 stitches on Huckleberry Farm. Got that out of the way. I'm going to stitch on Harbor Haven. Start Autumn by Brenda Gervais. Autumn Splendor by Brenda Gervais. Got that done. Or, you know, going to get that done. Stitch on the Be Thankful Turkey. Yep, I've done that. Stitch on Beach Rat. I haven't stitched on that yet. Stitch on Little Women. That's done. Oh, that's not done. The one below it, stitch on the garden box that I've been working on by Jeannette Douglas. I did that a couple of weeks ago. And then start 11 Lords Leaping. And I haven't done that yet. So I've got a lot. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 Magazine Monthly Challenge items that I haven't accomplished yet. So I have plenty to keep me out of trouble or in trouble, depending on how you want to look at it. So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys are having a nice fall. It's actually really nice here. Today our high is going to be what, 55, which is way too cold for me. I like it in the 70s and 80s. I'll survive. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys find time to get stitching done and are finding joy in your stitching. I'm sure I'm having a good time with mine, and I will see you in 2 weeks. That's my hope and prayer, right? And for all of you that have been impacted by those 2 dreadful hurricanes, I am thinking about you all the time. I can't consume enough news about the hurricane. I hope that, you know, you did okay, that you haven't experienced total loss of property or loss of life of friend or family, but just know I am thinking about you constantly, and I just hope that you're getting the help you need, the resources are available. Yeah, so just know I'm thinking thoughts about you. Okay, so don't forget, I'm doing the giveaway on Ye Olde Crow by Heart and Hand, and then I wanted to do another thing. Okay, so I've been going through my patterns, and I'm definitely doing the, I like it, but I want to stitch this more than that. And so I've got 3 patterns, 3 other patterns that I'd like to pass the stash on. One is because I bought it twice. So I really like it. So I am going to stitch 1, but I don't need 2. So I would also like to pass the stash on a Lindy Stitches chart. This is Let Every Creature. I just can't get enough of this chart. So if you would like this, I mean, look at that fox. I mean, can you stand it? It's so cute. So if you would like this, put creature. Yeah, put creature in the comments, and I will ship this anywhere. Another thing that I am just not going to get to is from Little House Needleworks. And this is the needlework shop. It couldn't be cuter. Adorable. So if you would like to stitch this, shop. Put shop in your comments. And then the last one, yeah, I love it. I'm never gonna get to it. It's just the way my life is right now. If I decide in 10 years I have to have it, I will repurchase it. But for now, I'm gonna pass the stash on Teresa Koget's up on the housetop and put snowman. Okay, snowman, needlework, creature, and crow. Okay, so use those words in your comment, or just blah blah blah, just put the 4 words down and be done with it. You can only win once. I haven't done this in 100 years, so don't forget, do not say all the troll words. Free, giveaway, freebie, blah blah blah. Please be 18 so you can legally give me your address. Just know I only have 1 of these. If they get lost in the mail, I can't replace it. But if it does get lost in the mail, let me know, reach out, and I will find something to replace it with, because I don't want you to feel slighted or cheated. So there we go. 4 little past the stashes. I will let you go now. So stitch happy, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.